this tutorial, we are going to implement the sign-in feature. I mean, you allow the user to sign in into the main application using the Firebase authentication. But one thing which in the previous tutorial we forgot is that here you can see full name. I mean, we are passing the unique user ID of the user, okay, with the username and also full name. Now we forgot to change here. I mean, we are getting the full name, username, email, password, but when we are storing it after authenticating the user with the Firebase authentication, when we store the data, user data, save user info in the Firebase system database, then we forgot to change that here, okay? So with the full name, I mean, we have to pass the full name. So just write, I mean, here it is, string full name, okay? These variables, I mean the data which a user will type on the, I mean here, okay? Full name, username, email and password. We are getting it and we have to store that inside the real-time database also after the authentication using the Firebase authentication. So anyways, I mean, let's just quickly change this username. And then we have email. So pass the email here and bio, email, username, full name and image, yeah. I mean the default one, okay? So yeah, you can see it. Now what's next? Let's just remove the previous data since you know that it is not, I mean, we just forgot something there, which is, that is, we were passing the user ID, okay? So let's just run the app, go to the main application first, and then we are going to start work on our sign-in activity. So here you can see our app is running now, and now let's go to the sign up page. Then let me type quickly, I mean, just create a brand new account or more so that we can see if everything is working fine or not. And email. And then password. So yeah, let's just register. Oh, sorry. The email address is badly formatted. I mean, it gave us the toast message. So we have to write correct email address. I just put semicolon here, okay? So yeah, this is my email. Account has been created and let's just check it. Here you can see it also in the database. Now it is fine, okay? Here you can see it. Now the next thing is to allow the user to sign in. But before we work on the sign in, we have to allow the user to log out from the main app. When the user click on log out, only then we will implement the sign in activity. So yeah, for that, what we're gonna do is we need to just go to our page, which is our account settings activity, and here we will implement it. So open the XML file for this page, which is our account settings.xml, and here we have this logout button, this one, okay? So just copy the ID of this logout btn, okay? Copy it and come here, and inside our this on create, we can just say paste this, and make sure to import this by pressing Alt Enter. And if you are using Mac, then press Option Enter button on your keyboard. So yeah. Now the next thing is to insert on-click listener on it. So how to sign out the user. You can say Firebase auth dot get instance dot sign out, this one, okay? And then we have to send the user to the first activity, which is our login activity. So for that, come here to the sign up activity. I mean, I'm going to copy paste this intent quickly just for the time saving and paste it here. And when the user click on the logout button, we are on the account settings activity, and we want to send the user to the login activity, so which is by the name sign in activity. And yeah, that's it. Okay. So once you do this, This is the logout. Now let's come to our sign-in activity and let's implement our sign-in feature using the Firebase authentication quickly. So go to the XML file for this activity, which is our sign-in, and when a user click on this login button. So copy this, come back here, and here after this, inside our onCreate, we can say, just pass this dot set on click listener. And here we are going to call a method which is to log in the user. So we can give it a name as, we will now create this method, okay? So we can give it a name as login user. This is our new method which now we will create, okay? So create function login user. Here we go. We move this to true and this is our function. And then here, now just for the time saving, what I'm going to do is go to the sign up activity and from here, let's just quickly copy paste this thing, which is email and password, okay? And we will change it on our sign up. So this is our, these IDs are not on our sign in page. So remove these IDs and let's just use the proper IDs from our sign in, okay? Because that one was for the sign up. So here for the email, we have email login, copy it and paste it here, email login.text, and then we have password login, copy it and paste that here. So yeah, that's it. Now come back to the sign up activity. From here, what we need next is to basically, let's just write this manually, and then we will compress the rest of the code which you will be needing. So put two curly braces, and in here, what we need to do is we need to just copy this email and password, okay? So copy this, Control C, and paste it here. So if email or password field is empty, we are going to notify the user that is email is required and password is required, which means that user must enter these things. Okay, so now the next thing is to basically, if both are okay, then we will execute the else statement, which is to allow the user to log in, okay? So just come here and after this one, we can say else and make sure to put two curly braces, okay? Just like this. And now in here, you don't have to do it like this, just like this. Inside our, this, when you have to implement this inside our when. Let's just move it and come here, okay? So inside this one, we can say else. And now in here, we can, from the sign up activity, let's just compress this progress dialog and all these things from here. Come back here and paste that whole code here. So we are on the sign in activity, so we can just say sign in activity. Set title, and this will be our sign in, or you can say login. Please where this may take a while. And then we are displaying the progress dialog, or you can say progress bar. And then we can say, just copy this and paste it here. And then we can say auth dot sign in user with email and password. Sign in user with email and password, then we have to pass the email and then the second parameter, which is the password. Dot add on complete listener. Sorry, not new, just add on complete listener. I just forgot, I write always the Java code, which is not implementable in Kotlin, okay? So inside here, do not just give extra space to this add-on complete, okay? Just like this, because it will display error. All you will need is just like this. These two curly braces must be like in this style. Hope you understand this. And then in here, we can say if task So here we forgot to write task. Okay, and then we can say if task dot is successful, then we are going to dismiss the dialog. So we can say progress dialog dismiss, and we are going to send the user to the main application. So for that, let's just copy this again from here. Instead of writing it again, sorry, I cut it. Control C and just paste that here. Okay, just like this. Make sure to change this to sign-in activity. So from the sign-in activity to the main activity. And if a user click on the back button, then it must not send the user back to the login activity unless and until the user log out from the main application. And in case if any error occurs, then you have to display the error. So just copy this from the sign-up page and paste it here. So simple and so easy. Okay? So we are ready to test our application. So let's just run the application now. So the application is running now successfully, and if you close the app and then again run it, then it will send us to the main application. And I hope you know about this, that we are using Firebase authentication. So only the user will be logged out. I mean, you will send the user to the login activity. In that case, if the user click on the logout button, here you can see it sends user back to the login activity. And now let's check our login, that is, it is working fine or not. Okay. So this is the email. Hope you know it, okay? And then let's just type the password and then click login. This may take a while, and here we go. So we are now logged in successfully. So yeah, we have successfully implemented this. Now from the next tutorial, we will allow a user to upload and add a new post, or you can save pictures inside this Instagram clone app using the Firebase real-time database. Now in this tutorial, we are going to work on the search fragment so that user can search from different users and they can follow each other. So for that, we'll be needing XML a layout just to display the user information. So go to the Windows Studio, and here we can just create our layout resource file. And the name of this, let's say, we can say user underscore item underscore layout. And it will be a relative layout. Then press OK. So yeah, it is created successfully. Now the next thing is, here we can say, let's design this quickly. So margin from the top 10 dp, and let's move this here so that you can see it easily. Okay, so margin from the top 10 dp and center horizontal to true. Now inside this, we need another relative layout, which will be wrap content, width and height. And now the center thing parent, move it to the center of time true. But first let's add the required components to it quickly. That is our circular image view, which will be 120 dp, and the height will also be 120 dp. And let's assign source to it, which is our inside the variable. We have a picture by the name profile. Okay, you can see it. Now, what we need to do is, first let me check this. So, center in parent, just like this. So you can say center horizontal to true. And let's apply a background to it. So background, we have a background in the variable which is by name button black background. Make sure to change the height of this to wrap content. Okay, just like this. And instead of this margin top, let's give it margin from all sides. Okay, just like this. And now let's move it to the right side, to the left side, sorry. So align parent start to true. Yes, this one is not working, but let me think, which design we should follow. Okay, let's just go with this one. Hope you will like it. So padding from all the sides, 5 dp. And let's give it some margin from the top, and that will be 5 will be good. Instead of this, let's say 10 dp, okay? And then after this, let's give ID to it quickly. So we can say user underscore profile underscore image, and it is on the search page. So just to make it unique, we say search underscore search, okay? So after this, we need a text view just to display the username and user profile full name of a user. So we can say text view. But before doing that, what we need to do is, here we can say margin top, and then after this we can say margin left. That must be 100 dp. And then margin right, 100 dp, just like this, okay? And now come down, and here we can say width must be next parent, and the height will be wrap content, okay? And just to move the image to the center, we can say center horizontal true, okay? And now let's assign text here. So first we want to display the username, and then we want to display the profile name of a user. Let's move it below. Paste this ID here, okay? And gravity for this will be at the center. Now, the text size for this one will be 12 dp, and the text color will be color primary. And what we need to do is to give ID to this quickly, so we can say user underscore name underscore search. And then after this, let's just copy paste this quickly and paste it down below. And make sure to change this to user full name search, okay? And it must be below the username, so copy paste this. You can see it. And now what we need to do is user profile name, or you can say the full name basically. That is Hamid Vizeb, and the username is L048. Now after this we need a button basically, which will okay, let's first change the text style of this to bold, and let's assign some margin to it from the top. So margin top 5 dp, and let me check if this looks okay. 5 is not good, but 2dp will be good, okay? And also, let's give it some margin. On the top, here we can give 5dp. And after this, we need a button, which will be a follow button, so that if a user want to follow, okay? So, you can say 90dp. And this will be 30dp. And this button must be below the user full lamp search. Paste that here. And after this, we can say horizontal to true. And just to make it, add a background to it so that it must look good. Okay? And then let's add a text to it quickly, which will be follow. Text all caps text all caps to false. Yeah, that is okay now. And let's add margin to it from all sides. 5dp, 10dp will be, 10dp will be good. So let's see. Yeah, this design will look beautiful, okay? You can see it. So it is totally up to you. If you want to design it in a horizontal way or just like this, in a vertical way. But I think this design will look perfect, okay? So, this is okay now, and let's give ID to it quickly. So we can say follow _ btn, follow button, and only search space or search. So yeah, that is okay. Let's create quickly a new package, or you can say a folder, and we can give it a name as adapter. Here you can see it. And now click on it, right click on it, and let's create a Java class in it. And our first one will be the adapter by the name user adapter. Then click. Okay, first of all, let me make sure what no, there is a Java class. We need a Kotlin because it's a Kotlin project, so cancel it, okay? Cancel it. Right click on it, new, and Kotlin file class, okay? Right click on this adapter folder, package, and then new and Kotlin file class. Now this will appear in front of you guys, this dialog box. From here, you can just select this one class, and this is our Kotlin class, so we can say now, let's give it a name as user adapter. That's it. So the user adapter class is created successfully. Okay? Now the next thing is can pass the parameter to it first. So that we will need basically. So you can say private word context, comma, and the other one will be you will be needing a user list, basically an array list, to retrieve all the users from the Firebase real-time database and store it inside that array list. So for that, you can basically say a private word user. And before we proceed, this context is basically of type context. Let me get the context of this parent, basically context, okay? And this user is of type list. Okay. Now here basically we will need a model class to basically, just like you guys see when we were creating our Android projects using Java, we create the model class. So with the help of which we can retrieve the data and use that data in our app. We will store it inside basically in our list. So anyways, for that, let's just quickly create a new package so that we can store all our future model classes inside it. And we can give it the same name, that is model. Okay? So right click on this model, new, and Kotlin file / class. Make sure to change the class name, and then we can give it name as user. Okay? Which is inside here. So in our user, we need to write exactly the same objects names which are here in our real-time database. I mean, which are basically bio, email, full name. I mean, exact names, okay? Do not use your own names. I mean, just whatever it is in the database, just follow that. So we can say a private word. And our first one is username, colon, it is of string data type, so we can say string. And make sure to initialize with null. And let's copy paste this quickly. 5 times more. So username, then we have full name, and then we have bio, and image, and then the UID of a user. And remove this last one. So yeah, that's it. Make sure to recheck it once more time if you follow the exact things, okay? If you want to retrieve the email, you can retrieve it, but you do not need it here, okay? So what we need to do is to create an empty constructor, okay? So you can just right click here on this page, generate, and yeah, I mean in Kotlin, we have to generate the constructor manually, I mean by typing. Not just like in Java, we just right click here and we say constructor generate and it will be generated. But here we have to type the code. Or maybe if there are, some shortcut exists. I do not know about that yet, okay? So this is our constructor without parameter, and now to generate a constructor for our model class with parameters, we say username, which is of string type, comma, and let's just copy paste this thing. Or if you are typing this, we can copy paste it like this quickly. So then we have bio up to here, and paste it here. Make sure to put comma at the end. Then we have image, copy, paste, and then UID. Copy it and paste it here. So yeah. So we can say this dot username equals to username. This dot, the second one is full name. So full name equals to full name. Sorry, I just write the semicolon. So anyways, this dot bio equals to bio. This dot UID image equals to image. And then last one, which is this dot UID. Now we have to set the getter and setup for all these variables. So let's just do it quickly. Fun. Get username. This is of string type. And it must return the username. Now the same we can do for the setter. So let's just do it quickly. You can say set username string and just cut this from here, and now inside this we can set it like username string, and then in here we can say this dot username equals to username. So this will be passed to this one. Okay, so now for the other one, let's just copy paste this quickly. Okay, copy paste it 4 times more, so we can change it for the remaining ones, okay? So this is the get username, set username. And now we have second one, which is get full name, and then set full name. Make sure to exactly follow the same steps, okay? So then we have return full name, And then here we can say this username, so we have to change it to full name string. So to remove this, okay, just like this, and then full name, full name. That's it. Now the third one is our bio. So we can say get bio and return bio. And this one is our set bio. So we can say bio and bio. Then we have image and UID. So we can say get image string, return the image, and then set image. We have to say here that is image string, then image, and then finally last one, which is our, remove these last two, okay, this one, and then our last one is UID. So you can say get UID, or we can get the user ID of the user by just typing like anyways, I mean there is no need for setting and getting the UID. So just remove this, because if our project is connected, we can also get the user ID of an online user by just typing UID and stuff like this. But anyways, if we need, we can add it. Let's add it. I mean, you guys will be thinking, what is going on then? Okay, so yeah, I mean, let's just get and set the setup for it. So anyways, we can say get UID, set UID. Then we can say UID. That's it. And then the last one, UID and UID. So yeah, these are our settle and getter. Make sure that you do exactly the same. Okay, get username. Let me check it. Okay, make sure that you do not write anything extra. So yeah, finally, let's go back to our user adapter and pass the model class to our this list user. Okay. And now the third one will be put a comma here, and we can say private was is fragment, and here we can say boolean equals to false. Now what's next? Put a colon here, and we can say recycler view. There is. Just like in Java, which extends the recycler. So here we can say recycler view dot adapter. Now here we have to pass our view holder class. I mean inside these two Angular classes. Okay, so we have to create that first. So let's just quickly create that and then, proceed. So you can say class. You can give it the same name, view holder. Or instead of that, I mean to type it manually, you can just type here user adapter dot view holder. Okay. So it will be like this. Now, if you just come here, you can see this red line. Click on it. This red wolf will appear. Click on it and implement methods. Okay? And we need this, all these three. On binary holder, get item count, and this also. Select all and then press OK. Here you can see it. Okay? So these are our methods which we will now use, but we have to create a class which will be our, and for this view holder. So basically here we need to get these controllers, okay, the buttons, image view, and the text view. So for that, what we need to do is we can say now class view holder. So here we can say non-null @non-null item view colon is of view type, colon recycle view dot view holder, and we have to pass item view to it. So with the help of this item view, basically we will access the controllers on our user item layout. And sorry, make sure to put a closing brace here, okay? You can see it. So yeah, and then this one. So you can say what username colon text view. I mean the text view of this one. I'm talking about we are accessing this text view first, okay? Username. So we give it a name as username, or you can give it like a username text view just to differentiate it, okay? And it is our text view equals to item view. Sorry. Dot find view by ID or dot ID dot. Now the ID for this one is, I mean for username, we have username search. Just make sure to import this R, okay? Just by pressing Alt Enter on your keyboard. And let's just copy paste this for the remaining 3 fields. So paste it 3 times, and now the second one is our user full name, and the ID for this is user full name search. Then we have the third one, which is the image. So we can say user profile image, which is of type circular image view, okay? Make sure to change the type for this one. So this is our, okay. And the last one is our button, so which is basically our follow button. So you can say follow button, and it is of type button. And make sure to change the IDs for it. So for that we have user profile image search, the ID. Make sure to verify the IDs with your user layout XML, okay? Fine. And then for the button we have a follow begin search. If you go back and check, then here you can see it. Full name search, follow button search. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, I mean that's it. Now we have to basically add our this user item layout. I mean this whole thing on our user adapter. So for this, when we say on create view holder, we have to access it here, or you can say link it here. So for that, we need to do that is where value equals layout inflator dot from, and pass the m context to it dot inflate, and our layout is r dot layout dot user item layout, u dot user item layout, comma, and we can pass this view group type. I mean the name which we give to this is parent, okay? So make sure to right here, sorry, comma parent, comma false. Now we have to return this as a, I mean, so that we can access all the user in, like in this form when our user is search on the search fragment, okay? So for that we have to say here, I mean return, you have to return it basically. So user adopt dot view holder and pass this whole view to it, okay? Which is view. Now get item count is basically the total number of childs, or you can say the user get from the Firebase real-time database. So we can return here like m user, which is basically our list, and dot size, the total size, that is how many childs into the tree. So now inside our own bind view holder, what we do is basically we write a code I mean, just to display the retrieved data, that is the image and the username and user profile name on our this controller, okay? Basically, text view, search limit and button. I mean, the data we will display, okay? So for that, what we're gonna do inside here, now you will understand the display the data basically here. So by using this object, which is, the name of which is basically holder, okay? We can say holder dot username text view dot text equals to, and above here we can say well m user, and then these two brushes, and we have to pass this position to it. So by using this user, we can say user, I mean, we can get that specific user, I mean, about which the online user is searching. So you can say user dot get username, and let's copy paste it. Holder dot user full name text view, user dot get full name, and then we have to display the user profile image. So we can say Picasso. I think we have not yet added Picasso dependency, which is basically used for displaying pictures. I mean, that we retrieve from a real-time database. Okay, so we have to add that dependency. So just open your favorite browser, go to Google and type Picasso. Okay? And then, just type Picasso Android library. Okay, Picasso Android library, and this first one, which is Picasso Square open source. Okay, square.github.io. Here you can see it. Just open this, and now here, first of all, come down here. Here we need to copy the dependency first, which is come down to the bottom here. When we say, when here you see download the test error, here we have this Gradle, okay? Inside the Gradle, we have this dependency, which is this one up to here, square of Picasso, and insert the latest location. Anyways, they have not given the latest version, but I will tell you now. Just copy up to here, okay? Up to here. Copy it. Just go back, and here you can paste it. Make sure to close this with a single quotation. Here you can see it, okay? One this and one this. Now after this Picasso, we have to type the version, that is which version. So we can say 2.71828, okay? 2.71828. And then click on this sync now. So let's wait for it. It will take some seconds. Now once it is build complete successfully, once it is done, come back to your user adapter, and here now we can say Picasso, capital P, dot get dot load, user dot get image dot placeholder, or dot dribble dot profile. Now, this is basically the placeholder. Let's say if your internet speed is slow and the image is retrieving still, so it will display this default image till the image is load successfully. Dot into, and where you want to display it, you have to paste it. So you say holder dot profile user profile image. Now, that's it for this user adapter. Now, close this user model class and also this user item layout. Let's go to our search fragment. And if I show you the search XML file fragment search, then here we have this recycler view, basically. So we have to get it in our search fragment first. So before that, let's initialize it with value equals to this. Then we have to return the view. Now here we can say private recycler view, recycler colon, recycler view, initialize it with null. Private for we have to access our user adapter class here, so user adapter colon user adapter null, and then our list private variable view user number view mutable list, and pass the user model class to it. Now we can link our this recycler view first. So in here we can say recycler view equals to view dot find view by ID or dot ID dot, and make sure to copy this recycle view search ID and paste it here. Now after this we can say recycler view was one dot, which is safe call for it, by the way, that has fixed size to true. Recycler view layout manager, this is from small l, okay, layout manager equals to linear layout manager, and we have to pass the context, so the context is text. Then for our list we can say muser equals to array list user adapter equals to context. Sorry. Let user adapter it comma muser is array list. We have to pass the user model class to it, comma true. A recycler view dot set head up sorry, here in Kotlin we say there is dot adapter, which is in Java we say set adapter, okay? So we have to set it, so we can say equals to user adapter. Now we have write everything. I mean, we have create a user adapter. We have also initialized and set recycler view and also the array list. But we have not yet used the Firebase query, or you can say we have not get the text from here, from over this edit text. I mean, a user will type something and we will do it like a live search. Okay, that is just a user type A, then all the names, all the users that whose names start with L letter will appear here. Okay. I mean in the recycler view. So, I mean the user do not need to just write some text and click on this search. Whenever the user writes, it will execute the query, and we have to set a query for that. So for that, we need to access our this edit text, which is, I mean the ID for this one is, okay, we have not yet given ID to it, so we can say ID. And let's give it ID as search underscore edit underscore text, search edit text. So copy this ID, come back to search fragment, and then after this, we can say view dot and paste that ID, make sure to import it by press Alt Enter button, dot add text change listener, object colon text watcher, text watcher, and then here make sure to put these two curly braces. Then in here we have three methods for this text watcher. I mean the text change listener. One is basically the before text change, on text change, and after text change. So we have to write all these three, but let me write it first. Before text change, okay, and then after text change, and then the on text change. So, we will use only this one, on text change. That is, whenever the user types something, whenever the text is changed, the query will execute, we will do it, okay? But you can use also these methods according to your needs in future. Let's say if you are doing some other projects in which maybe you must need this, that before text change, after text change. So anyways, this is just to let you know, guys, that what it means basically or what you can do with it. So on text change, in here we can say search. We have to access it by the view of this fragment. We can say view dot search edit text. We are getting the text from that edit text field in which the user is basically typing to string. So if this is equals to null, now there is something. When this text search, this edit text search is equals to null, if there is no text start in it, then basically we will display the user post here on the search box, which I show you in the introductory video. But we will cover that in the upcoming parts. For now, we are just retrieving the user, searching the user. So inside the else statement, we will leave this if statement empty, okay? And when the time comes when we will be retrieving and searching the post from different user, then we will increment the code here, okay, for tag. So it basically means that is, if the user, if you dot search edit text dot text, this else statement, if this is not empty, then in that case we have to search for specific users. So we can say recycler view colon dot question mark this exclamation and then dot. Now just to make it work, here we can by default let's make the visibility of this gone, because later on in your tutorials we will be needing, we will add another recycler view to this page, okay, for displaying and searching the user posts. So here we can say recycler view, if the user types something in the search edit text, we will visible that. So we can say visibility becomes equals to view dot visible. Now first we have to retrieve our users, so let's create a method by the name retrieve users, okay? Let's just create this method quickly. Create function retrieve users in our search fragment, and here it is created. Okay, make sure to remove this comment, and now in here we can say, well, user ref equals to, now we are basically, you can say create a reference or set a query to our database for searching the user. So we can say Firebase database dot get instance dot get ref, and you're referencing to our specific child, which is users. Then we can say user ref dot air value event listener object value event listener. So here put two curly braces. Let's move to the next line. And as you know, inside the value event listener, we have a method by name on data change, just like we do the Android projects in Java. And one is the other method, which is on cancel. So after this, we can say on cancel. Make sure to write this also, okay? So yeah. And now in our on data change, first we have to write if statement, and we have to check that is, there it is, this thing. This is equals to null. And we can say user dot clear, and then by using for each we can say for snapshot in data snapshot. This object, okay? So this is, remove this PO and let's give it this proper name, which is data snapshot. Colon data snapshot. Sorry. dot data snapshot.children means that inside this user node, as you know, this data snapshot is referencing to our user node. I mean all the users and their data. Now, basically what we are doing here, it is very a good practice. I mean to retrieve all the user and save it. As you know, we have created an array list or the list in which we will retrieve and store all the users, so that it can take very minimum time, I mean milliseconds, to search, I mean for a user to search different users easily and quickly. So now we are going to add all the users in our M-user array list, or you can say to the list. So anyway, we can say equals to snapshot dot get value user. Now once we retrieve all the user, basically in this method what we are doing, we are retrieving all the users from our users node, and we are going to store it inside our array list, which is by the name M-user. And then after this, once we complete this method, we are going to create another method in which we will search for that specific user. I mean, that is, let's say for user type A, then all the users whose name start with A will appear on our search fragment. So I hope you are getting everything. So class.java, if user not equals to null, then what we are going to do? We are going to add the users inside our database. I mean, inside our array list. Okay? So that we cannot retrieve again and again all the users from the database, which will basically increase the efficiency of this application. So yeah, I mean, and user, because all the user will be stored here inside this M-user array list. So this loop, I hope you know about the for each loop, okay? This loop will execute until it retrieves all the users and store it inside the M-user array list, okay? All the users. And we store it inside this M-user array list. And then after for, you can say user adapter notify data set change. So we are calling this method first here. I mean, within the type if the search edit text contains some text, then this method will be called automatically. So if we retrieve all the user, store it inside this M users, and now is the time to search for that specific user inside this M user array list. So for that, we are going to create another method, and basically we can name that method as search user. Now we have to pass the text from here, so by using this char sequence s object. So s dot to string dot to lowercase. The text which is basically in our array text. Now we have to make this searching feature, you can say, not sensitive. I mean not sensitive. By not sensitive, I mean that whatever, let's say my name starts for capital M. So if a user types small m, then it must retrieve my name and display it to the user. So for that, we will get the text from the, here you can see, by using this char sequence, which basically referencing to our search edit text. You will get the text from here and you will convert it to lowercase. But for that, I mean, at the time when we register our user, we have to send the user name, full name as a lower. I mean, we have to add this built-in function lowercase there also. Now, if I come here to the sign up activity, make sure to do these changes here, okay? And also, let me write it first, then I will tell you what we need to do next. Full name dot to lowercase. Okay? The same you can do for the username to lowercase. And at the time when we will retrieve it, then we will convert it back just for the display to, I mean, every word will be capitalized. Okay? So now whenever the user create a new account, then to store the full name and the username into small English alphabets to the Firebase real-time database. So that basically it will be a non-sensitive search, which basically means if a user type capital M or small m, then it must retrieve all the user whose name start with M, no matter if it is capital or small, okay? That's why we write here to lowercase, so that if a user types something in the edit box, edit text, then it will convert to lowercase and search for that specifically. So now I'm going to change the user quickly manually, but you can create other user and you will see that it will automatically convert, at the time of you register, it will convert the full name and the username to small English alphabets. No matter if a user start, let's say, write capital P in the sign up page, then it will convert it to small English alphabets, okay? So I'm just doing that manually from here. But now, if you have less user, then you can create more account and you will see the difference, okay? Make sure to check the database for that also. Then you will understand everything, okay? That's why I'm doing this right now in front of you guys. So yeah, that's it, okay? So now let's come back and let's create this search user function quickly. Create function search user and our search fragment. It is created successfully, and it is passing the text to it, which is basically our text which the user will write in the edit text on our search fragment. So yeah, here we can say, and let's just change this to, let's give it a proper name, that is input. But, you know what, we can do the same thing here in our search user instead of... Anyways, let me write it quickly. What I am going to do now is, we have to set a query here in our search user for that input which we get from the user. So let's just copy this, paste it here, and then we can say .child users dot order by child. We are going to specifically search for the input, about which the user is searching. So you can do two things. That is totally up to you. By which child you are going to search the user. You can search a user by their full name or by their username. It is totally up to you. I think full name will be good because most of the time we only remember the full name of a person, okay? We do not know about someone's username, which is unique, by the way. So, I will go for the full name. Make sure to write the same spelling, which is in our database, okay? This child, full name. Use of child, which is full name. So, yeah, anyways. So, we can say start at, let's move it to next line. Start at input dot and at input. Let's say if a user type A, okay? So all the name which start with A, or if it ends with A, retrieve all that user and show it, okay? Now, as I told you, we are going to retrieve that user and store it inside our list so that it must increase our app efficiency, the speed. So let me check it first. I think this and that, it is not necessary to put. So if you want, you can remove, but first let me check if it is working fine or not after implementing this. So for the time saving, what I'm going to do is I can just give it a name as query. Okay? And for the time saving, let's just copy paste this user ref whole code, okay? Up to here, yeah. Copy this user ref, copy it, and paste it here inside our search user. And then change this user ref with query. And make sure to cut this. And here, paste it. And user care. Make sure to add up this thing, okay? Replace with safe call, which is this question mark dot, okay? And also here, okay. Now, okay, the same error is here, so replace with safe call. Also here you can see this red line, so replace with safe call. This is this thing. Now it is okay. So anyways, now come here, and we do not need to write the shift statement here. So Control X this call, remove this F statement, and paste that whole thing here for. And yeah, that is okay now. Now let's just, first of all, remove this to do, okay? Leave these methods empty. Remove this, okay? And also remove this. So yeah. So before text change, then we have on text change. So let's move this method down below this on text change, which ends here. Basically, check this first. Okay, after this. So yeah, let's just test our application. Now the next thing which we need to do is basically our query. Okay, so you can see we are setting the query on our full name, okay? And it is important to pass the query area, the Unicode alongside with our Firebase query according to the Firebase guidelines, okay? So after this, add this quotation sign plus, and inside this double quotation, use this slash UF8FF, okay? UF8FF. So this is the Unicode which we need to pass. So it is important to add this, okay? Otherwise, your search will not work properly. So after, when you add this, all you will need is just to run the application and test it. So now, if I show you quickly the database, here you can see the full name, that is, when we now search, so now you will see the difference, okay? So our app is running now successfully. Let's go to the search. And now if I type A, so all the users whose name start from A, the full name start from A will appear here, okay? Here you can see it, Eamon Johnson. We have only one user whose name starts from A. Here you can see it, okay? And now if I search for like J, okay? Then all the people whose name start from J will appear here. Now if you start making changes like J-I, okay? So all the people whose name start from J-I will appear here, okay? Here you can see it specifically if you are searching for something. So you must write the full name of that user. Here you can see it. Now let's say if I'm going to search for Johnson. So if I will type John, and here you can see it contains John, so it is searching here. So that is working really nice. And also, as I told you, it is not case sensitive. Even if you type capital M, then it will retrieve the username. Okay, here you can see Muhammad Ali. Okay, and if I type small m, here you can see it. Okay, so it is working really nice. This is really incredible. Here you can see it. I typed in capital letters. If I type the full name, let me check it first. Okay, and here you can see it is still retrieving this name. So yeah, that is working really nice. That is incredible. And also, we will, just for the display that every every starting letter, we will display it as a capital letter. The name text, okay, like J capital, P capital here. So we will be working on that in the upcoming tutorials, and also in the next tutorial, we are going to work on the follow function, okay? So that we can allow user to follow each other. Oh yeah, that's it for this video. Previous video tutorial, as you know that we have successfully implemented the search feature where now user can search for different user in our this Instagram clone app using the Firebase real-time database, and which we are developing using Kotlin. And this search is basically not the case sensitive, which means that let's say if a username starts from small English alphabet A and a user type capital A, then it will search all the users whose name starts with A. It doesn't matter if it is in small English alphabet or in small English alphabet or capital English alphabet. It will search exactly the user, okay? Here you can see it. Or if I search some different user, like let's say, then here you can see it, J-I-A, and you can see it. So the name, Gia Peterson, appears here. Now, it will also, you can say like, give suggestions like all the names just start from J. If a user just write J, okay? Johnson, right? Gia Peterson. Or if you type M, and here you can see it, Muhammad Ali. Or also if you type small English alphabets M, then here you can see it. So now, in this tutorial, we are going to work on the follow feature so that we can, maintain the following list record and also the followers list record for an online user using Firebase real-time database. So yeah, we will now implement that feature when the user click on this follow button and want to follow some of their friends from school, college, or university. So yeah, let's just do it. So go to the Android Studio, and here on our user adapter, here we have our soundbind view holder. And let me tell you, we have already cast our follow button in the previous tutorial. I hope you remembered that, okay? So now by using the view holder object inside our this method, we can just say holder dot follow button dot set on click listener, which is this first one, which means if a user click on this button, then what we are going to do in that case. So first of all, as you know, let me explain a little. If a user click on this follow button for the first time, then we will this user whose name is Gia Peterson, now an online user, let's say Muhammad Ali, is now following Gia Peterson, okay? So we will turn this button into following. Instead of follow, now the button will be following. And then again, if the user click on that following button, then it will unfollow this user whose name is Gia Peterson. So I hope you understand this, and I hope you have used Instagram app, and I hope you have the idea, okay? So yeah, holder dot follow button, we are now playing with it just to check for the follow and following button, okay? So that according to that, we can update our code. So and again, to string, if holder dot follow button dot text dot string, if this becomes equals to follow. Sorry. Inside the double quotes follow, if this is equals to follow, while the other will be the else statement, which means if it is equals to following. Instead of follow, if the button text is equals to following, then what you will do in that case? So if the button text is equals to follow, in that case, we are going to allow the online user, let's say Muhammad Ali, to follow this user, Gia Peterson, okay? And yeah. So we can just say Firebase. Let's just initialize our Firebase user here. So you can say Firebase, or instead of that, let's initialize it globally. So here we can say private for Firebase user, and it is of type Firebase user. And let's initialize this with null. Okay. And now here we can say Firebase get UID. In Kotlin, we just write UID, okay? In Java, we say dot get UID. Let it now let's create a reference to our database. So we can say insert here Firebase database from capital F. Dot reference dot child. Now this is the reference basically where we are storing our this record for following user, okay? For all the users. Dot child it. Now instead of it we can say it one, and now I will tell you now what basically it mean, okay? Dot to string. Dot child following. Dot child user dot get UID. dot set value to true. Basically, what this whole thing mean, okay? Just consider a scenario in your mind about the Instagram app, okay? When you try to follow someone, that is, let's say I'm going to follow Gia Peterson. When I click on this follow button, then this person will be added to my following list, okay? That is, I am now following this person. And inside Gia Peterson's profile, I will be added to his followers list, okay? That is, I am follower of this person, while in my case, when someone visits my profile, then in my following list, this user will be served, okay? I hope you understand the whole thing. So now here what we are doing is, this is just the code for saving the user to my following list, okay? Now I'll also need to write for updating the follower list for this user, okay, Gia Peterson. So now let me tell you what this means basically. When we say Firebase.getInstance reference, this is basically a reference to the root, and then inside root we say .child follow, .child it1.toString. Now basically this means the Firebase user .getUID, like in Java we used to write, okay? So this belongs to this thing, Firebase user.UID, okay? So it means that inside the follow, I mean, I am the online user, it basically needs this whole line of get.child follow, and under that follow node, my ID, that is my unique ID, let's say, I'm an online user and this is my ID, okay? You will understand it more clearly when we will run this app at the end of this video, but for now, just I'm trying to explain the code, okay? So under that ID, we will have a following list, I mean, that is, I am following this person, user.getUID. This is the position on which we click the follow button. That is, let's say, if I click on Gia Peterson follow button, then this person will be added to my following list. If I click on Johnson Wright follow button, then this person will be added to my following list. So I hope you understand the whole scenario. It is that simple. Now the next thing is to save this to the follower list of that person whom we are going to follow. So this is very simple. I mean, how we can do it. So we can say .add on complete listener if this task is done successfully, which means that if this person is added successfully to my following list, then what we can do next, we can just say add on complete listener, which is this one, okay? Task. We can say if this task is done successfully, task.is successful, then we are going to add this person also in the follower list of, for this I mean Johnson Wright, let's say, okay? So what you need to do is just copy this whole code from here up to this. Just copy up to, let me just check this semicolons, okay, up to this add on complete listener, okay? Just copy this whole code, Control C, and paste it inside this if task is successful. And now you'll do some change inside this if task is successful. So here we can say, now we are going to add this person to the follower list of that person, okay? So just cut this here. Pasted here one.toString, and inside this follow.child user dot get UID, okay, and change this following to followers. So make sure to exactly do the same changes, okay? So follow.child user dot get UID, and then followers.child it1.toString dot set value to true. Now, once it is done successfully, we have to add a notification also. I mean, which we need to display here when a user click on this heart icon. But for now, let's just complete this. Also, when a user click this, which I told you already, that is when a user click on this follow button, then you will change this button to following. Or let's say if a user is already following someone and again press the following button, then it will unfollow that button. It will unfollow that user and change turns back that button to follow. Hope you understand this. Okay. So once we complete it, then we'll add a notification also. So anyways, now the next thing is inside the else statement. What we can do now here is that, first of all, by mistake, I think we just remove the ending curly brace for this statement, okay? I mean, if you click here you can see this this Firebase UI.let ends here, okay? So let's just make it correct quickly. So this is this curly brace which ends here. Here you can see it, okay, highlighted, and then this if statement ends here, okay? The highlighted one. So I'm really sorry, I just removed it by mistake. Anyways, now inside this else statement, now we can just copy paste this whole code and then we can modify it for our unfolding feature. Copy it, paste it here. Now there we were basically adding, maintaining a record by just saying at the end that not set value true. We added the record. Now here, what we will be doing is they'll just remove it, okay? When the user click on the following, if the user is already following and again the user press it, it means that the user wants to unfollow that person, okay? So yeah, we can just remove it. So instead of this set value to true, you can just say remove value, okay? And also here, instead of set value, just write remove value. And yeah, we are done now. So this is all about maintaining the records inside the Firebase real-time database. Now last thing which is left is, for the UI, if a user click on this follow button, then we must change this text, the button text, okay? So for that, and also to get a notification basically. But before moving to notification, let's just quickly do that, okay? So here now, above this follow button, you can just create a method, call a method which we will now create, and let's give it a proper name like check following status. And passing, we are going to pass it two parameters. One is the user.getUID, comma, and the second one is our follow buttons on which we will change the text basically. Oh yeah, follow button. And now let's create this method. So just click here, write bold, okay, create function, check following status. Then you can see that method is created here successfully. Let's just move it to the bottom, Control X from here, and then at the end here we can paste it, okay? So inside this, you will need again a reference to our database, so let's just copy paste it. So from here, Firebase user, up to this following, copy it, Control C, and paste it here. Let's store this whole reference in a variable. Let's give it name as following ref equals to this. So basically here we create a reference to our following node and we store it inside this following reference variable. And also make sure to write a closing curly brace for this. It's curly brace, hope you understand it. Okay, so just make sure to close this one, okay? We just got brace here. So it is necessary to write the ending curly brace for it. Now we are going to retrieve the status from here, that is from the following, that is by using the value event lister. We are going to check if this is let me write it first. You will understand it easily. So we can say following a reference object value event listener. Make sure to go to curly braces. Just move to the next line, and in here we can say override font on data change. Make sure to write exactly the same, okay? Here you can see it appears, okay? Just click it and this method will appear, which is our on data change. Remove this to do. And now in here we can say, so as you know, for the on-air listener, we have two methods, built-in methods basically. One is the on data change and the other one is our own cancel. So you can just type on and this will appear. Override fun on cancel, okay? Here you can see it. Make sure to remove this comment too. Now inside our on data change, we can check if there are snapshot. Let's just give it a proper name, data snapshot instead of PO, okay? So we can say data snapshot. So now here we can say data snapshot dot child, and by using this UID, okay, you can pass it here. We can say UID dot exist. If this UID basically exists under the not following, now this following reference, as you know that this is a reference to the database, follow, and then the user online, current online user ID, and then the following node. So under that following node, if this user exists, okay, if this user exists and this user is basically the user which we are retrieving here when a user search for any specific user, that is, let's say Muhammad Ali or Gia Peterson or Johnson, right? Okay, so let's say let's say following this Gia Peterson and not this one. So here it will be appearing like following and this one will be follow, okay? So just like this. So if I again click on this, I mean just to maintain the text, I already told you to maintain the UI so that the user can get the exact idea what is going on, okay? So in this case, if this UID exists, we are going to update the text for our follow button. Text equals following. If this UID exists under this following, it means that this user is already following that person, that's Gia Peterson. So that this button will be appearing like here, following, okay, as I already told you. And then in the else statement, if, which means if this UID, let's say that is, if there is not exist under the following node in the database, then it means that you will turn this button to follow. It means that that user is not followed by an online user, Muhammad Ali, let's say, okay. So, I mean, you will get more clear idea when we will run the app and when I will show you the database, okay? At the end of this, we will show you. So change this to follow. So yeah, that's it. Now let's just test our application. Which I remember now, I mean, here we commit a small mistake. I mean, for getting the user, this is not the proper way. Here you can see we initialize this Firebase user, which is by this name, with null. But Firebase user, we are getting that directly. I mean, we say Firebase user.uid. We cannot get the user ID like that, okay? Hope you understand this. We can just say Firebase user dot get instance, Firebase auth. Okay, first we get the auth Firebase auth dot get instance dot current user. Just like this, we have to initialize it with this thing, okay? Hope you remembered in Java, we do it like this, okay? So then we can, after this, say that is by using this Firebase user, we can say that is Firebase user dot uid. So hope you understand everything. Now let's just run the app to see how it works. Now let's just, here in our search box, we are going to search some user. Let's say this one. If I click on this follow, here you can see it, follow, then two IDs. As you know, one is for the following list of an online user and one is for the follower list of this person, of this girl or person whose name is Evan Johnson, okay? So I will be added to this person follower list. She will be added to my following list. Now, if I open this further, then here you can see follow.child this ID dot child followers dot child this, okay? And then follow.child this ID dot child following dot child this ID. So this one is my ID. I mean the online user by the ID who currently I am logged in into the app, okay, which is IQ, and I am following this person whose ID is this one. If I show you from here, then IQ is Johnson, right? Okay, and this one MIPBC, which is this one, full name Eamon Johnson. Here you can see it. Okay. Also, if I go and just search for other user, let's say Muhammad Ali, then now here you can see I am now following two person. The second ID is N7, okay, and N7 ID belongs to Muhammad Ali. So here you can see it. I mean, this is working really nice. Even if I go back, okay, and I come here again, then here you can see the button is turned to following, which means that I'm currently following Eamon Johnson. Now, if I click on this following again, and also let me tell you, I've also added to the follower list of Muhammad Ali. Here you can see it N7, which belongs to Muhammad Ali ID, okay, and I'm added to his followers list, okay, IQ. Here you can see it. Now, if I click on this Eamon Johnson, then for my following list, this person will be removed. And also I will be removed from the follower list of that Eamon Johnson person, or you can say this girl, whatever it is. Okay, so here you can see it. Also, now if I go to Muhammad Ali, here you can see following, okay, because still I am following Muhammad Ali, okay, so I am added to his following list, to his follower list, okay, and Muhammad Ali is added to my following list. If I click on this following, then here you can see following and the follower record is removed, okay. So now I am no longer following Muhammad Ali. So I am removed, Muhammad Ali is removed from my following list, and also I am removed from the follower list of Muhammad Ali. So I hope you understand the whole thing. So it is working really nice. This is incredible. And in the next tutorial, what we are going to do is that we will be working on the profile, and we will display the overall following list. I mean, overall people. Let's say Muhammad Ali is followed by how many people, or the following list and the follower list in short, okay? And also we will display the profile name and the bio of a user, and then you will allow user to update the profile picture and also display the profile picture here on the profile page. So that's it for this video.